Wednesday, March 31st, 2021. Of course, Brian Bittler calls it Wednesday, but it is actually Wednesday, March 31st, 2021. We're going to close out March. It's the first quarter of 2021 already in the books. Man, last year at this time, we were in what sports bettors call the Great Depression. But this year, totally different story. We're through the Elite Eight. We're going to the Final Four, and Michigan, of course, not going to the Final Four. But the rest of us are all going to the Final Four. But, it's exciting, right? It's like we did college basketball. We got Major League Baseball starting tomorrow. I know a lot of the cappers have Major League Baseball packages out there. I generally don't do one. I don't know. I don't know how I would price the thing because it's so many picks. I don't know. I think we have the premium on the YouTube Premium, which is a super reasonable product. We have monthly packages, which are super reasonable products. We have the yearly, which are ridiculously reasonable products. So, I don't know. I don't think you're going to do any better than that. I guess if somebody wants a special baseball package, I'll put one together for you. If somebody requests it, I will do it. I guess that's what we'll go with that. But anyways, let's bring in the guys. We have, maybe get some thoughts on our Final Four in college hoops. Michigan, Brian, they are who we thought they were. Push came to shove, and they got pushed and shoved. They got absolutely dominated in that game. They got to the lead a couple times, acted like, of course, like in typical Michigan fashion, like they had won the game as soon as they got to the lead, and it was a matter of seconds before UCLA was rubbing it in their face again. And it was a humiliating loss for Michigan as a number 1 seed to go down to a number 11. It was typical Michigan, what we've seen from them, people putting them in the championship game just a month ago, remember? They're going to be in the championship, and that's what I said. It's earned on the court. And we won a lot of money on Michigan this year, a lot of money. I had Michigan tons of times. But I have to last night's performance against an 11 seed, it's up there in Michigan history. It's got to be up there with the Appalachian State loss when they were FCS. It has to be in that same category. You're a number 1 seed. You get busted up by an 11 in a no-doubter. And you got to the lead against these guys, right, who had lost 4 games heading into the postseason in a row. You got beaten up inside. You got beaten up outside. And all your athletes and all your sharpshooters, skadoosh. What did they score, Rod? 49 in that thing? 59? How many points?
Yeah, 49 in that. Yeah, 49 points.
Yeah, 49 points. Yeah. Ain't going to get it done at the varsity level.
No.
Brian, Big Ten.
You can't compare Appalachian State to UCLA. We saw how good the Pac-12 has been in the tournament. So
how many FCS teams? How many?
They weren't typical.
How many FCS teams? How many FCS teams have beaten FBS teams? How many times has that happened?
Well, I'm gonna say a little.
Not too many, but actually probably more times than an 11 seed has gone to the Final Four. So it actually was a bigger upset. And in the grand scheme of things, it happens less often. It was a rarer occurrence. They're the 5th 11 seed to go to the Final Four. There's been way more than 5 FCS teams that have beaten FBS teams.
That Appalachian State team was probably like a 35-point. I don't remember, but it was probably 35 or 42.
Well, that's just because people are bad bettors. That's not my fault, But this is a rare occurrence.
A much bigger upset than the UCLA.
I don't think UCLA cares about how they match up against Gonzaga. I would say if I'm UCLA at this point, and this is generally how the 11s have fared once they've gotten to the Final Four, we're just happy to be here. It's a big in your face that they're there, and to knock off a number 1. self-anointed finals participant, Michigan. I mean, that to me was the whole thing. When we heard, not everyone, but when we heard a lot of people start saying this team is in the finals. It wasn't like they might make it to the finals. They have a shot at the finals. They're in the finals, right? And what did I say at that time? That is earned on the court.
On the court.
On the court. They are who we thought they were. Pretty much it. You want to crown them? Go ahead and crown them.
From first four to Final Four. Crazy.
It's been done before.
Nobody
Shaka
would have
did
picked UCLA to go right to where
No,
they were.
Shaka did it with VCU. He did this. Shaka did it. Yeah, Wagner, was he even in that game? I know he missed a bunch of layups.
He missed a bunch of layups. Oof. I think maybe mommy and daddy being there kind of threw him a little bit. The whole family was there. The other one was a no doubter, though. We got this.
Someone here is mentioning Miami losing to BYU in 1990. You know, yeah, that did that. I mean, that did hurt. But I'll tell you what hurt. Which games hurt more? You know, which game? Believe me, that one hurt. But I mean, so this guy beat us with two separated shoulders. You know, it's like congratulations. You know, it's like we did everything we could, beat him up, but it's like he beat us with two separated shoulders. The game that hurt us was when Maryland came back when we were up 39-0 at halftime. That was the one, and that was the year of the Flutie pass. We lost in our bowl game against UCLA. There was a whole bunch of games at the end of that season where the Canes gave up like 50 points a game. It was that Maryland game, the Flutie game. They were all in the same year. And then the next year, 8 yards a game average rushing against. It was like never again. It was like, and that's when the decade of dominance began. But anyways, I digress. We got Major League Baseball on tap for tomorrow. Brian, you looking at that card? Dialed in on opening day? Or
I started looking a little bit last night. I really, for some reason, Cincinnati Reds, they got me a bunch of times last year, but they always seem like a nice value, or I'd see they're like minus 110 or so tomorrow. And to me, the Reds are always undervalued. And I was looking at the Toronto Blue Jays and a few other teams. Oh, yeah. Colorado Rockies at home against the Dodgers.
I think it's you know, for Major League Baseball, it is a marathon for sure, not a sprint. A lot of people have asked me, are you excited about Major League Baseball season? I would say the answer is no. You know, to me, the start of Major League Baseball season, it's nice that we have a different sport to go, but by September, I know I'm sick of it, right? It's like if there's college football Saturday, I mean, how many baseball picks am I giving out, right? And, you know, we even skip it. We even skip it on the show, right? It's like we don't even cover it. And
well, the problem with baseball later in the year is, you know, it's pretty much been decided and the money lines are high.
Enough. So it gets to a point where it's enough. You know, it's enough. I think 60 games was too few. I think 162 is too many. I think baseball, they ended on Labor Day. They end the season on Labor Day, right when football season starts, and go right to the playoffs then. No snow in the World Series, no none of this stuff. You know, end it on Labor Day. You know, it's fine. We're good. You know, it's only a month early. You know, if you did that.
Mr. September. We don't have to have Mr. October anymore. We can be Mr. September.
No, you would still have the World Series at that point. Would still end up in October. There's so many rounds now. Right, it would still end up. It would still end up in October, the World Series, but it would be the first week of October, not the last week of October.
Last week, yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. You should write the commissioner.
I've wrote the commissioner on several of my ideas. He does. They always say he's going to get back to me. Got news for you. He never does.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea because most sports start to wind down when others are beginning. So.
Yeah, like March Madness stops, right, and baseball starts. And, you know.
Baseball starts. Yep.
Usually the NBA is starting to wind down, but we got a little bit more time left. But we got a good card today in the NBA. We got a lot of games, and we're gonna have a lot of games. You know, people that like action, and you know, having a lot of choices on games to choose from. I mean, this is a good time for us because we're going to have 15 Major League Baseball games on an average day. You know, at least 4 times a week. We'll have 15 games a day. And we're still going to have NBA. And several of these NBA days have 10, 11, 12 games. So we're going to have 27 games in a day. Professional
I got to keep myself to 5 plays. I was thinking 3 baseball tomorrow and 2 NBA or something like that.
Because Brian loves to pass on opportunity.
There's a 5 is my number.
Yeah, but 5. It doesn't even make sense. It's
because if you bet 7 games, if you go 4 and 3, with the juice, it's not even worth it. You got to go 5.
What if you go 6 and 1?
Yeah, you could. I'm just saying I'm a superstitious. I know
it doesn't make any sense. It's foolish, but that's besides.
There's some guys that'll have 20 plays.
Well, those are guys that don't have a system for handicapping games. A criteria that this is a bettable game and this is not a bettable game. I mean, I could have a card of 100 games and not find a bettable one, and I could find a card of 30 games and find 27 bettable ones using my system. I'll squeeze out from, if there's 100 games and I don't like anything, I pick out the 3 that I like the best of it, or the 5 I like the best of those. But just because I like 5 out of 30 and 5 out of 100, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense because you're talking about 5% versus I don't know. Rod's not a math guy. I was going to say, but
5% versus what?
5%, 5 out of 100 or 5 out of 5. All right, 5 out of 25. Is what is 20%. So it's like one of them you like 20% of the card, the other one you like 5% of the card. Doesn't even make sense.
No, I mean you get more quality that way.
You don't. No, you don't. Mm-hmm. You absolutely don't. You get more quality by always getting the games that fall into the bettable range. You get the ones that fit the system and lock in. You get the most quality that way. The other one, you're squeezing games out of a day that doesn't have them, and the other one, you're leaving money on the table, which is the big sin in gambling. Right? It's the big sin. Leaving money on the table is death. I'd rather, well, I'm not going to say I'd rather die, but
I was taught by a guy many years ago to find the best play in the card and bet 1 play a day. I never stick to that, but an old sage told me that.
No, he's an idiot.
Hey, 1 play you bet for
$2,000. If I said what I was going to say, people would be like, "You're bragging." I would say, I bet he doesn't live on my block. Anyways, we got the Pistons and the Blazers. Pistons and the Blazers. The Heat versus the Pacers. This is a blood match. This is a rematch of rematches. If the Heat lose this one, they're just gonna say, you know what? Next time they schedule the Pacers, we're just not gonna play. I mean, it's like, how many in a row can you lose to the Pacers in 2 weeks? It's like, it's too many. Celtics and the Mavericks, the Nets and the Rockets, and let's see, how about those 4? Brian, any of those 4?
Yeah, well, you know what? I like today's card in general. I'm going to take the Portland Trailblazers laying the points in the road. It's kind of square for me, but I just
well, you had Michigan, so it can't be that square than that.
Michigan was a free play. It wasn't I won my premium college basketball play, but
super square.
It was a play that I bet and I lost, but
I know it does.
We're talking about today's, and I'm going to take the Blazers minus the points. I just think they're too hot, and they need every win that they can get. I don't see Detroit stopping them. I like the Rockets plus the points. I got in a little earlier on a better number than 12.5, but I think it's a 10-point game, 10-point win for the Nets. You never know who's going to play or sit out. And I'll take the Boston Celtics at home plus a point against Dallas. Like you guys do many times, I'm going to fade the Mavericks here. I think Boston at home will be a tough customer at a pick 'em.
Rod?
And for me, I'm going to go the other way. I like Detroit here. This is the last game of the road trip for Portland. So they're 4-0 on that road trip. This will be 5-0 if they can. They'll get the win, but I don't think they get the cover. Detroit's been solid their last 10 games, 7-3 against the number in the last 10. I think Detroit comes and covers that number today. Portland gets the win, doesn't cover.
That was a huge redemption game for Mick Cronin. You know, it was this tournament has been a huge redemption for him. And it's been an odd year in sports. I mean, let's be realistic. It's like we have sports, we're happy that we have it, but this has been a ridiculous, without the fans, without all this stuff, it is a different game. And I'm not saying that Michigan would have had more fans in the stands than UCLA, because those fans, I mean, they play here in Maui, they pack the place, man. They pack it. Even when they're bad, they pack the place here. Of course, it's not that far.
I'd love to see that invitational. I'll have to
come on out. We got extra room.
That'd be awesome.
It's Thanksgiving week. It's the 3 days before Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's probably why I can never really
It's the 3 days before Thanksgiving. I'll tell you who's in it this year. The Lahaina Civic Center. It's weird because now that we mention it, I'll get it in my Facebook feed,
Yeah, they listen to you. I was outside talking about pressure washers the other day, and the advertisement was all over my Facebook.
Crazy. So this year, it's your boys. Wisconsin are in it. Texas A&M, St. Mary's, Oregon, Notre Dame, Houston, Chaminade, and Butler.
Notre Dame. I'll have to bring Sasha out with me.
That's a good grouping, though. It's not like normal. Normally, there's Duke, Kansas. Like 2 years ago, when it was Gonzaga versus Duke in the final, that was sick.
Oh yeah,
that was a sick one. Kansas is usually in, someone like that. But this is solid. Houston, Notre Dame, Oregon, Butler, St. Mary's, Texas A&M, Wisconsin. I like it. I also like the Pistons. I'm with you guys. I'm with you, man. It's like this is a team that covers at home, as a dog against a Blazers team that never covers, So it's like the Blazers are they win, they just don't win by a lot. If they're kind of like how the Jazz always were, if the spread is more than like 2 or 3 points, you're really, really risking it with the Blazers because they love to win close games. I also like the Rockets against the Nets. I think I liked it better at 14 when I did my video. At 12.5, I'm a little less enthusiastic, but I liked it a lot at 14.5. I just think that what we've seen from the Nets is they haven't covered a double-digit spread in about 6 months. And the thing about the Nets is that this is a team not playing for right now. This is a team that's playing for the playoffs, kind of the way the Lakers do it. That's why Kevin Durant doesn't play, right? But believe me, he's going to have the miracle Nick Saban COVID recovery, versus Georgia, for the playoffs. It's going to be, the most amazing. Been healed, it'd be like when Evander Holyfield got cured, by Benny Hinn. It's going to be crazy. I don't know. I think that still at 12.5, you could take the Rockets here against the Nets because the Nets, like I said, they don't want to risk those top players. Those are the guys that are gonna play in the playoffs, and maybe they picked up all these other guys because to kind of fill in, so they have guys that can rack up wins because we're a month away from the playoffs, right? And New York has got some political issues going on there. We're not a political show, but we'll just say that there's still issues going on there. Just because no one's talked about them today doesn't mean that they've gone away. So with pressure on the governor, things like allowing fans in the stands and feel-good moments are probably in their near future as they legalize marijuana today. So, right? It's like, pressure on the political people, political decisions that might influence people's thinking. It's like they legalized recreational marijuana in New York. Just so happens in the middle of a political scandal. Just happened to be that way.
Well, that they need tax money,
Well, how do you think Canada got their prime minister?
How did Canada get their prime minister, Rod?
I don't know.
He went on his political party and he said, "You know what? I am going to legalize weed. Vote for me. What did he do? He got voted in. And what did he do? He legalized weed. And now we can't get rid of the guy.
Well, there you have it.
There we have it.
Surprised Brian's not on the Rockets.
But they didn't invent basketball in Canada.
I'm surprised you're not on the Rockets. Brian, you're not on the Rockets here?
I said that I was on the Rockets.
Can't believe you're not on the Rockets. That whole Michigan thing just wearing over you, kind of.
DGen bet of the day. I'm going to take the Rockets on the money line for
what?
$60.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to put $60 on the Rockets on the money line. They're going to outright the Nets.
That's not going to happen.
Well, the Rockets.
I forbid you.
The Nets could sit all their stars today and think that they're still going to get the win. So.
Yeah, the Nets are going to win the game, but it's going to be like 6 or 7, 8.
That's going to lose outright.
No chance. If the Nets lose, I'll burn your Gonzaga hat. Jazz
the Nets lose, you give away 7-day consensus to anybody who emails you.
The issue is that if you haven't already bought something, then I have to enter you in the system. So I have to set up a coupon code, and I'm just not good at it.
I'll just put Rod in charge. He'll take care of it.
Oh shoot! Am I in the drive-thru tonight?
Today's Wednesday.
Not only do I'm moved. I got moved to Wednesday because normally Thursday is a moving day in baseball and a light day in basketball, so I figured normally it'd be less videos. But today, because tomorrow's opening day and they're not doing it the way they normally do it, all 30 teams are playing tomorrow. So it's like I actually have 15 videos plus however many NBA, and then it ends up backfiring on me this week. But from now on, it'll actually be a lot softer, which is nice. But
you probably could get out of it.
What's that?
You probably could get out of the drive-thru today and take the day off.
It's all right. I have a commitment. I honor my commitments, except the ones I don't want to. We got the Jazz and the Grizzlies. I think Donovan Mitchell not playing in that one. Got the Minnesota Timberwolves against the Knicks. And Oklahoma City Thunder against the Raptors. Ryan?
Whew. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take the New York Knicks minus the points. Again, that's a little bit on the square side. I just think the Knicks coming off that loss to the Wizards, they need to keep winning games. They want to make the playoffs. They're sitting all right now, but you can't let wins like this at Minnesota slip by you. And did we get to the Kings and the Spurs?
Nope. All
right, well then I'll save that one for later. And then the Thunder and Raptors, it's just a light bet. It just seems like way too many points to give the Thunder at home. Raptors laying 8 on the road doesn't seem like a very good bet to me. So I'm going to degenerate bet on the Thunder plus the 8 points.
Rod?
For me, I'm going to take I like Dallas over the Celtics. Celtics are dead to me. They just can't win anything. Yuck. That was in the last time slot. Oh, was that in the last time slot? My bad. Sorry. Raptors and Thunder. I agree. Give me Thunder buddies at home. They've been playing way better hoops at home. And look at the Raptors. Woo. They had one. They popped out and played one good game. And that was it. We haven't seen them do a whole lot of nothing. So give me the Thunder plus the points on that one. And I'll take the Knicks on the money line. I think they can go into Minnesota and get the win outright.
People ask
Knicks are the favorite.
People ask, they're favored by 3.5. People ask me to remind them, hit the like button. Hit the like button. People say they don't hit the like button because they forget. I will remind you, hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up. We appreciate it. Helps us a ton. Helps us a ton. Really getting into this YouTube thing. I've always just kind of done it. Now I'm kind of really getting into it.
And if you're a guy out there that just watches videos without signing into an account, just make an account and sign in so you can hit the like button every day. I know my son watches videos, and he never signs in and likes anything. He's only 8 years old, but I got to teach him right from the start.
Yeah, it's like, or in a comment, a comment's always good. Whatever.
Hashtag Iceman sucks.
Yeah, whatever you want to put. Iceman does suck. I mean, we know that. State the obvious.
He probably had the Michigan Wolverines on the money line yesterday.
I don't know. Last time I checked his account, I went into a 1-week losing streak.
Yeah, I went 3-0 yesterday, so I better shut the hell up. I'm gonna jinx myself.
Iceman.
I'm not gonna stay.
Yeah, he does suck. Sucks big time. He probably had the Bruins puck line.
Hot diggity dog.
Well, Devils was the hot diggity dog. Posted on the puck line yesterday. That was.
You see, my Rangers took out your Capitals yesterday.
Yeah,
so you know.
The play that was the best on the board was that Devils. When we went over it on the show, I was like, I dissected that thing. It was like that was freaking money. I like the Thunder buddies in this one against the Raptors. I don't understand what the Raptors keep being favored by these big numbers. I mean, what are we waiting for? I know the Thunder are bad, but the Raptors are just as bad, if not worse, because they only have 18 wins and the Thunder have 19 wins. The Thunder actually have a better record than the Raptors. Spurs versus Kings, Lakers versus Bucks, Suns versus Bulls. These are the best of the bunch, kind of like the best in show or the last 3 games. I think there's some good games out there. The Mavs, Celtics. There's some good high profile stuff. I think people are just a little tired after all this March Madness.
I'm tired. I was up to 2 a.m. I'm tired.
No, you're not going to get a tear from me, man. It is 4:40 in the morning here.
Yeah, I hear you. Out of that group of games, I think the best free pick of the day is the Sacramento Kings plus the points against the Spurs. It kind of almost looks too easy, like that Knicks loss I took the other day when the Knicks were at home. Kings are red hot, winners of. They just keep knocking out wins, and they're a streaky team. But I think their streak continues today. I think San Antonio is headed in the wrong direction, so I'll take the points and the Kings, and then the Lakers again plus the 9 points against the Bucks. It'll be a long time before I lay that many points with Milwaukee Bucks on the road. So even Lakers without LeBron and Anthony, I'm still going to back the Lakers here, plus the points.
For me, in the Lakers game, I'm going to go under the total. All those guys out, not as much scoring. I like the under in that one. And I'll take the Suns. I know Suns are on a back-to-back, but they're 5-1 ATS this year. Their last 6 on 0 days rest. And the Bulls are 0-4 ATS their last 4 games. They just have not looked right, not looked like the same cover machines that we've seen before the trades. So I'll take the Suns. I'll do the point.
Drummond playing for the Lakers tonight. It'll be interesting to see what exactly that means. We know when he's good, he's really good. But does that mess with the chemistry? Tough to say. Spurs Kings is kind of another rubber meets the road kind of game. We saw the Spurs get beat up by the Clippers twice in a row. The second one, I really liked the Spurs in that game. I think it's the same thing here with the Kings. And, we've talked about the Kings a lot this season. Streaky hot, streaky cold. And right now they're streaky hot. So does the streak end here and turns to a cold, or do they continue riding it on and pound the Spurs? Spurs will lose 2 back-to-back series in a week. Losing to the Clippers on back-to-back and losing to the Kings on back-to-back if they lose here.
Yeah, the thing I worry about is they just got spanked by the Kings, so usually they bounce back, but I just think the Kings are playing better basketball.
Oh, the Kings are streaky hot, so it's like when they're good, they're good. When they're bad, they're bad. Good Kings, bad Kings. It's like this is the same team that lost 12 games in a row last month. Right? I mean, it's the same team.
Well, they had injury issues during
No,
that.
they didn't.
I think they did.
Nah.
I think Bagley was out.
Nope. They were just bad. Just bad. Just bad basketball. And a player being out doesn't prevent you from covering a point spread. We've seen it.
Nope.
How many times have we seen it?
Oh, look at me. How many times did I take the Lakers? I think I've taken them 2 times back to back. I like them better without the guys playing.
All right. I like the Spurs in that one. I think they bounce back. Man, a lot of comments on these videos. I love it. It's like we've never been really gotten a ton of comments like this, but I appreciate it. If you have picks, go into those individual pick videos, put some comments. I've been mixing it up in there. Facebook group. Golf is off the table for me for a while. I'm just overwhelmed. Anyways, Brian, what are you selling today?
Off a 3-0 sweep yesterday, 2 straight winning days. We're going to look to carry that forward today. I got my Wednesday executive info 3-pack, 3 plays for $40 at pickdogs.com, 2 NBA, 1 NHL. Definitely 3 supreme quality plays right there. Make sure you check it out. Or jump on board that baseball pass. Mine's $500 for the complete season. It's more than, it's huge.
So what does that come out to? Like 6 cents a game or something? Less than that.
I believe Rod's is $500 as well. I'm not.
Yeah, well then it's also
sure, but it's super value there.
It's it's stupid value. You got the wrong word there. Stupid.
Well,
value.
you get people to hang with you during baseball season, and then they go big on football. So.
I don't know.
For me today, I got a Wealthy Wednesday triple. Top 3 NBA best bets today. On one package over at Pick Dogs Premium, $29.95. Love these 3 bets today. Perfect opportunity to crush the woods.
So what is your monthly package cost?
Mine's $350.
All right. So there's 2 months, right, where it's going to be primarily baseball. We'll have some NFL preseason football on the weekends, and we'll have NBA playoffs, but they'll be winding down. The championship only runs 1 week into 1 month. So basically, for $200 less than the price of buying 2 months of Brian's picks, which would be primarily almost all baseball, you get 7 months of picks for $500. Yeah, that's good.
And you look at some of the competition; they only offer half the season for $500. So it's good value to get the entire season.
We don't need to discount. We're better than those guys. Why would we charge less? It doesn't make any sense. It's like why? Because some slime balls?
My thinking is that the full season for 1 year is at $1,300 for our full year.
I talked about it on the premium show. These guys all claim to be the world champion, man. It's like I've never been in the world championship, and I think I've been in this business for quite some time, and I think I also have a bigger following and bigger reach, and I think more people know who I am than half these world champion guys. Where exactly is this world championship? Where exactly is this?
There's my belt.
Where is this world championship? And show me it. Show me who was in this world championship. I don't know, man. Tell me. I'm just. It's an honest question. You make a claim. It's an honest question. Don't you think?
They should have a contest every year.
No, I mean, if there was one, then you could claim that there's a world champion. But is that an honest, fair question? Someone says the world champion of what?
Right.
I don't know. I bet for a living. I got a pretty good life. You guys all saw my house.
You're the halftime champion.
Right? I am the halftime champion.
I'd give you that.
But I'm not. I'm not the champion. I pick a lot of winners at halftimes. Because I'm a game watcher and I analyze and I can. I'm not afraid to say the obvious. It's like you bet against Michigan, you're getting an extra few points every single time. You bet against the public team. You bet against the Lakers, right, Brian? You're always getting value. The Lakers have to cover 2 to 3 more points than a normal team would have to lay. That's why there's so much value betting against them, right?
Except for the Lakers currently without LeBron.
Right, without LeBron. But that's a different story. But in general, teams like the Lakers, teams like the Mavericks, teams like the Pelicans, teams with superstar players in big markets, teams like the Boston Celtics, right? You always have to pay up for these teams. Alabama in football. Always have to pay up.
The Nets are like that now, too.
Right, the Nets are like that. 23-24 against the number. 32-15 straight up. Meanwhile, the smaller market, smaller market, those are the ones.
That's why baseball's good.
That's why baseball is good. Baseball?
Yep.
Baseball, 162 game schedule. I say it a million times. If you bet a team that's an average of minus 200, and there's a few of them out there that will be this season, the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Astros. If you bet these teams at minus 200 average throughout the season, they need to win 120 games for you to break even.
Oh
You need to only lose 42 times over the course of an entire Major League Baseball season. So over 80% wins. 80% you need to go to break even.
Right.
That is the Diamondbacks tomorrow. Holy
that
crap.
is. So here's some baseball stats. People ask me about baseball. Then I should do a video. Okay. So here's my 4th keys to baseball. And if I did a video, this is exactly what you'd hear. Number 1, small market equals big value. It's like that in every sport, but in baseball, even more so. Okay? 29%, number 2, 29% of all baseball games that are played are one-run games. 29%. So when you lay the run line in a game at minus odds, your odds of winning are already reduced 70% on top of paying the juice. It's a tough way to make a living. It all compounds, because it's one and then another, right? You have to pay juice and, but if you're on the other side of taking the dog and getting the run and a half, it actually can work to your favor, but you don't get to maximize your bets. And, there are people that do that with ridiculous odds. I think if you could find a good one, like maybe the Pirates tomorrow against the Cubs, something like that. Where you're going to get a good payout, a reasonable payout on plus.
Take a look at the Diamondbacks at the Padres tomorrow. That's a good.
Yeah, but the Padres, we know they're going to come out.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Also, in baseball, if you bet primarily dogs in baseball, you only need to win 30% of your games, 30 to 35% of your games to turn a profit. Now, if you can get that up to 50%, win half your picks, right? And most people say, right, half your games. If you can get it to half your games, think of how much money you can make. If at 35%, you're already making a profit. So that's how you do it. And then the other thing that I find in baseball is that too many people out there are reliant on the starting pitcher when they're making their bet. And if you're betting first 5 innings, yes, starting pitcher is a lot bigger deal. But if you're betting full game, starting pitchers only go 5 innings these days. In a lot of cases, most of these guys only go 5 innings. Yeah, you have those top frontline guys, but then for those guys that go deep into games and can throw the heat, the Shane Biebers, the Verlanders of the world, those type of guys. You're going to pay up and pay up and pay up. They lose one time, you have to win 5 games.
Yeah.
You have to win 5 times, just to get even. How many 5-team parlays do you hit? It's like having to hit a 5-team parlay to get even.
Just to break even.
Break even.
Stay away.
Yeah. Baseball is more about value betting, and that's why Brian is excited about it. It's more about value betting than any other sport because it is a money line sport. And the money line sports is all about value. All about value. Yep. Hockey is the same way. I just don't know it that well until recently because I am Mitchie Pucks. But anyways,
until
of course.
Yesterday, you got taken down, Mitchie Pucks. Wait, you had the Blue Jackets plus the goal and a half. Yesterday.
No, I had the other one, the Devils plus the goal and a half.
On the Devils.
Yeah, they got the goal. The Devils won plus and a 1.5.
Of course they did.
So you hit yours.
Yeah, I love that one. But I lost my Mitchie Pucks pick lost, though. My Mitchie Pucks. I think it was Edmonton or Capitals. No, it was Edmonton, I think.
Oh. Edmonton, yeah. Edmonton was,
Well, we got 6 NHL games today. If you're not a premium YouTube member, it's a great thing to have. It's a good thing, I would say. If you don't buy premium picks and you're just like, I don't want to pay for picks or whatever, I think it's a good thing to have. It's not like it's a parlay to play or anything like that. Matter of fact, I don't agree with these guys' picks sometimes, and they don't agree with mine. But it's just a dip your toe in the water, and then if you like the premium or you like one handicapper's picks and you don't like another handicapper's, then you go to the site, you buy their package. It's kind of like instead of investing, $150 for a week or $350 for a month or $1,300 for a year, you get a chance to kind of see exactly how this goes, because I am one of the few handicappers out there that does not win them all.
It's like going to the grocery store and doing the sample tray, when it was allowed to be out.
I mean, I am one of the few handicappers on the internet that does not win every game. I don't have like a 90% winners either or anything like that. So I can safely say that. But I have been doing it a long time, and I have losing runs, but overall, the best way to hit a parlay is to not put in the bet.
Yeah, it's crazy. People are addicted to those parlays.
Yeah, I'm going to 10 million subscribers here on YouTube. I got this, man.
Got this.
I got this thing, man. I'm not worried one bit. We're on a heater. We're running over the competition on YouTube. We are the number one. Veasan sold to DraftKings yesterday. It's like their YouTube channel has like 8,000 subscribers or something. It's like, I don't understand why the big advertisers don't get it, but they will. It's like when they're running this $15 million ad campaign on NFL commercials and stuff, what are those guys doing? What are most people doing when they're showing that $15 million worth of commercials? They got their phone out. They're watching us on YouTube, man. It's like have you ever sat around? It's like I had my nephews over. It's like they got their phone. It's like they're watching us on YouTube. It's like it doesn't even make sense. It's like, yeah, we'll spend $15 million on a TV commercial. It's like that commercial comes on. People take out their phone. They're watching us on YouTube. Who does Mitch got in this? Who's Brian like in this game? Who's Rod like? That's what they're doing. They're not watching your commercial. I got news for you. Got news for you. Anyways,
I hit the mute button. I don't even listen to it.
Or if it's just regular programming, you fast forward through it, right? Who watches live TV that's not a sporting event?
Exactly. I record everything on my DVR and then fast forward through it.
It's unwatchable. Even Temptation Island.
Never saw it.
Oh my God.
I like Gold Rush, and I got some shows.
There's
Discovery Channel.
There's no program that makes you feel like taking a shower afterwards in Temptation Island. It's just terrible.
I wouldn't last long on Temptation Island.
It's hideous television. It's kind of like a car wreck. You don't really want to see it, but you can't help but looking.
I get tempted to see something.
So bad. So bad. They filmed it right down the street from our house.
Oh.
Okay. Sabres, Flyers, JETS, Jets versus the Maple Leafs. And we got the Avs versus the Coyotes. Brian, any of those three pucks games?
Yeah, I think there's pretty tremendous value on the Winnipeg Jets here at home, getting about plus 120 or so on your money. I see the smaller bettors coming in on Toronto in a big number. Jets 10-5, I think, straight up at home. They've beaten the Maple Leafs 2 out of 3 games. No reason they can't take another one. And at plus money, it's definitely worth a wager.
I agree. Take the Jets. Money line. Great value there. Jets 10-5 at home. And the Leafs have been struggling in the last 10 games. 4-5, 4-5-1 in their last 10 games. Jets 6-4. They're just been the hotter team right now. We'll take the Jets on the money line. Philadelphia Buffalo. I'm going to go under I know the last game went over the total, and that was only because we had this crazy third period of goals. Most of these time, most of these teams struggle to score goals. So give me the under 6 goals in that one.
That's a good pick, Rod. I like that. I'm going to steal it.
How do I buy premium picks? You go to pickdogs.com, click on the premium picks tab. Or if you go to any video that we've done ever, if you go in the description, you can get the YouTube premium picks. Got a link. It's super easy. I know you're busting my chops, but that's okay. Well, you want to feed it up? Who came up with the Pick Dogs logo? I did. Most of the creative ideas on this and every other website I've ever worked on are 100% mine. Brian has actually had.
I'm thinking
Brian's had a couple good ideas recently.
I'm brainstorming every day.
Right? Brian's always brainstorming. It's always like, you should do this. Yeah, that would be super expensive.
What other? I had an idea too. What the hell was it? Oh, okay. Now I know what it was.
I like the. I think the hot diggity dog is the Jets on the puck line. I really do. I think that's the hot diggity dog, where it's like too good to be true.
I just wouldn't take a puck line.
I understand.
I'd much rather take
I understand,
money.
but I'm shameless about this. I'm going to charge $100 for that one. Yeah, I'm going to give it to you guys for free. Normally, it's $99. But for you guys, it's free. I hate big favorites like this, but this is a gimme. This one is a gimme. You know, so it's like it's the Jets on the puck line is a gimme. They're 12-4 on the puck line at home. The Maple Leafs are 13-22 against the puck line overall, 6-9 against the puck line on the road, and the Jets have a solid chance to win this game outright. So you could probably hedge out your game-winning ticket with a little bit on the puck line, you know, because you're gonna hit that. That's a gimme. Just saying.
Well, yeah, the Jets are 28-8 this year to the puck line.
Yeah,
so.
they own it. They own that. They're 12-4. You got a 75% chance of hitting the puck line at home with the Jets. That's pretty good for sports betting odds. Of course, you have to pay a huge premium for that, but
are the Coyotes and Avalanche still playing tonight? I can't get it.
Yeah. As far as
it's
I
not
know.
showing anything for me.
Well, it's because it's minus 300. Your computer's allergic to it.
Oh, yeah, I don't. I'll stick to my Winnipeg Jets.
I tried to find it, but my computer blew up at the minus 300. It didn't want me to see it. It didn't. I just can't. I'm sorry. I can't. Sorry, Brian.
I'm also super.
It's not for you.
As soon as I take a minus 300 play, it's a guaranteed loser. And there goes my money. I don't like it.
The last minus 300 play that I bet,
minus 200.
I bet Manny Pacquiao to beat Ricky Hatton, minus 320. And I also bet Pacquiao by knockout, first, second, and third round, and by knockout overall. So like all those were good payers, but like I also hit the minus 320. But it was like there just wasn't anything else to do there. I am the world champion of watching Temptation Island. Yes, I am. Brian, are you the world champion?
I'm the world champion of fantasy football.
Are you? How many people are in this world championship?
12 people.
From around the globe?
No, just 12 people.
Representing the world?
I'm representing one football, fantasy football.
World champion.
4-time world champion. I'm again like Ric Flair. I'm going to need more fingers for rings.
This many times.
I
don't even understand where this championship took place. Were we not invited to this championship? Was there a secret championship?
But then you'd have to fly out here and
I'll tell you, getting slighted and disrespected is not something new to me. So it's totally possible. It's totally possible. Vegas minus 220 against the Kings. the Sharks plus 140 against the Smudges. And the Canucks plus 105 against the Flamers.
Yeah, just a slight lean to the San Jose Sharks at plus 140. I think you're getting a nice bang there for your buck. Too many people jumping on the Minnesota Wild on the road. It's just a small sample. But for some late action for me, I'm going to go with $60 on the Sharks.
$60 on the Sharks. Right.
And for me, out of those ones, I actually like the Flames here. The Canucks still, they're still missing so many guys.
What do you like about them?
There's lots to like about the Flames.
They're actually a playoff team. Like they
sure they are.
They swept the first round last year, and it's like
why always sucking up the
they're
people
just not
in
playing
Calgary?
up to their potential. And here's a good spot. The Canucks are just injuries are kicking their butt this year. So I'm going to take the Flames. And I'm not a Flames guy.
I think there's a big difference in rosters between those two.
Yeah, so I'm going to take Calgary in that one, and I'm going to take the Kings plus the 1.5. As Vegas is just hot diggity dog crap on trying to cover a puck line. They just can't do it this year. Their numbers are awful on the puck line. So if you look, the Vegas is 14-19 to the puck line this year, where the Kings are 22-11 to the puck line. So we're going to take the Kings plus the 1.5 in that one.
I'm going to get a trophy for my ball hook. Rod, you should get a trophy. That's what you should do with your space over there. He's got some kind of certificate. I got
my trophy right
I got
here.
a certificate also. I got a certificate.
You need a journalism award.
I don't need a journalism. I got a certificate.
Uh-oh.
There it is.
Got some guys starting to catch up to Al in hockey.
I mean, this doesn't really mean anything, but it is a certificate.
What does that say? Sports Chat plays. Oh, okay. It is an achievement. It's kind of like when
It's not an achievement. We have a star named after us.
Oh, I was gonna say they give everybody one of those things at the end of the contest.
No, we have a star named after us.
It's a star.
RA 5 hours, 36 minutes, 123 seconds. December +9, 56-27-2 is our star. Sports Chat place.
Now you got to buy one for Pick Dogs.
We could get a Pick Dog star.
Oh, you're a Pick Dog star now.
You're a star, Pick Dogs.
Yeah.
World champion of Star Search, Mitch Wilson.
Nice.
Actually, what we're going to get from YouTube is once we get to 100,000 subscribers, we get a silver play button that they send you. And then at 1 million subscribers, they send you a gold play button. So we're going to get the gold play button. We can't wait to get that.
Yep, well on the way.
I want to be the first sports handicapping show YouTube channel to get the gold play button. We would be the first to get the silver. You know, if we there's a couple ahead of us in subscribers because they started way before us, but we're outpacing them like on daily, like 10-1. I'd love to catch them. Yeah, basically, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, just hit that subscribe button. Get notifications, do whatever. Don't get notifications. I guess I got to come up with a Mitchie Pucks pick because I don't really love this card. Oh, boy, it's a tough one, right?
Yep.
No, I think there's a few gems.
I'm going to take the Smudges on the puck line. 7-10 on the road on the puck line. Why not? They call me Mitchie Pucks. Smudges on the puck line is my play. Don't love it. Just don't love it.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I think you're losing your... Nah.
All right. Rod, what's your parlay?
My parlay, we're going to go 2 hockey, 1 basketball. We're going to go the Detroit Pistons plus the points And then we're going to go the Jets on the money line and the Los Angeles Kings plus the goal and a half. Parlay those three up.
Our subscribers don't rise about 1,000 a day. They rise about 100 to 200 every day. Not 1,000 a day. Rise about 100, 200 subscribers every day. I'd like to rise 1,000 a day. I'd like to get to that million. I want that gold butt. I want 10 million.
Now 1 million is a pretty big achievement.
Yeah, let's shoot low.
Well, no, I just mean that's a pretty big achievement.
What are you talking about?
Well, how many that you got currently?
And you call yourself the world champion. Not with an attitude like that.
Millions.
How many subscribers do we have? We got this many right here. We can put it right.
I can't see that.
We got 41,200.
All right,
we actually have.
I
can see our live count. This is gonna flip in a second because we got 41,300. It's gonna flip any second. I just saw it when I said subscribe. A bunch of people subscribed. Up now, someone unsubscribed. Hey, you're not supposed to do that.
Well, no retiring until you hit 10 million. All right.
Do you think we should add a depressing late night talk show?
Oh, boy. I'll tell you what, though. I should have watched that last night. It would help me go to sleep. Instead, I'm out there sorting through sports cards.
Anyone want to join our team to do a depressing hour-and-a-half monologue?
Well, I know the perfect guy. I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
I don't know if we get a platinum play button. Does Doc Sports have an affiliate program? Yes, they do. I believe they do. They'll do whatever they can to get business. That's for sure. Free this, free that. Took them, as I always tell Wade Mosman, they've been in the business for 40-something years. Took me 5 minutes to pass them. There's a reason.
My parlay for today, I have the Jets money line, Winnipeg Jets money line, New York Knicks minus the points, and the Sacramento Kings plus the points. I really like that parlay.
Does Iceman suck? We got a question from the crowd.
Now, he had a winning day yesterday, so not yesterday.
Oh, you looked?
I looked, yeah. There wasn't anything egregious.
No? No Gonzaga money line?
A couple days ago, he had a minus 180 Columbus pick.
I got to do my parlay. Did you do your parlay, Brian?
Yep, I just said it. Jets money line, Knicks minus the points, and Kings plus the points.
I'm going to take the Detroit Pistons, and I'm going to take the Spurs and the Rockets. Pistons, Spurs, Rockets. Tres Perros for those Spanish-speaking out there. Oh, no, the Spurs aren't a dog. Dos Perros. 2 dogs. 1 favorite. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. It was an enjoyable show, as always. I'm serious. If you're interested in joining our team, let me know. Don't just send me an email saying how great you are and how easy it is and how, tell me exactly what you bring to the table and, like, what experience you have and, like, if you have a YouTube channel. I saw a guy actually on YouTube the other day that I'm actually seriously interested in contacting this guy, but he might be with somebody else. But I saw a guy that was really good. Really, really good. Anyways, that wraps it up for us. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We'll send you out that premium YouTube in just a moment. And I'm going to try like crazy to act more professional tomorrow.